I'm a tech lead in Germany. I'm currently leading a programming and DevOps company. I'm in charge of 9 developers and DevOps people here, and we are working with the latest edge technologies basically. And what we put on our head is basically that we are very passionate developers and DevOps engineers that are keen to learn new technologies and are always trying to be on the edge, staying up to date with the technologies that are needed by customers, because it's constantly changing. We have some areas, especially in DevOps and programming currently, which is Kubernetes and JavaScript programming, which is permanently evolving. So you basically need a full set of complete new knowledge like every half a year. And I think a big part of my job is getting that done and staying up to date with these technologies and knowing exactly which tools to use when and where. I think this is a really important part, and especially knowing my employees, knowing what skills they have, and knowing where to play the cards correctly. Basically, I think that's also a big part. And another big part for me is traineeship. I'm eager to train and teach people, and I'm trying to get a few more passionate and very skillful developers up in this sector, basically. So this is a huge part as well. I'm making sure that my employees can work without barriers. Basically, I started out as a system integrator kind of job, and quickly realized that programming is what I really want to do. It's been constantly programming in my job and also in my free time. So it's a big hobby of mine. I'm writing games as an example, which is a big hobby of myself. I don't do that professionally. I do that just as a hobby. And in my career, I'm just programming too, basically. So I just made my hobby my job, I would say. I enjoy the teaching part a lot, seeing that other people are able to overcome barriers and yeah, we are working on really complex problems sometimes, and it's kind of hard to get your brain into a way of thinking that you can take apart all these structured little things. And through my experience, I am able to do that really well. For me, it's like I've always felt that I'm a little gifted regarding programming, so that are seemingly quite complex and hard for many other people, for students, for CS grads, and for trainees, as an example, come really easy to me. I think I'm quite well at learning all that. The important factor of it is exactly that passion, that you have the passion to get into technologies, to just have this knowledge first and go in and try to understand new things and see a challenge in everything. I don't see walls when I stand in front of complex technologies, but I see a challenge for myself where I say, if others can understand that, I can understand that too. Basically, I feel like I'm gifted with that mindset, because I see for myself that not everyone in this career, in this profession, has this. I think 3 big sources for tech information site I'm reading since I was a small young boy, which is Golem. Golem is a German IT news magazine online, and I think they are really competent. They make really good articles, and I think I get a lot of information from there. I'm keeping up to date via Reddit a lot. Personally, I read Reddit a lot, and I'm in most big programming language subs and DevOps related subs, and from there always get to know when, as an example, a new ECMA script version is released or a new TypeScript version is released, or I have to update my Kubernetes cluster or something. That's something I would say I get from there. And my third biggest source is probably our customers. With an example, you talk to your customers and suddenly every customer has this word Kubernetes in their heads. They're all coming and talking about Kubernetes. They don't understand what Kubernetes really is or what is the advantage of integrating it. But their business partners are talking about Kubernetes and telling them, yeah, we got big Kubernetes clusters now. You should have one too. And of course, at some point they come to us and tell us, hey, do you also know Kubernetes? And this is how I personally realize, hey, a lot of our customers are talking about Kubernetes right now. I think it's a big thing, and we should probably go to that direction. We will see a lot of changes in the future. I'm pretty sure of that, because many things we are doing manually right now. AI will surely be introduced in many aspects of that and take over tasks that we didn't think of that AI could take over these tasks. As an example, Microsoft just now released a new subscription model for Teams, which enables you to bring ChatGPT into your Teams presentation, and it will automatically take notes, which is really interesting, and it will automatically find headlines for specific blocks of communication and put them into categories. And I think this is really important, because no one is actually sitting there and says, yeah, I know exactly where I need it in Teams for taking notes, right? This is not the thing we think of when we think of what will AI change in our everyday lives. But this is exactly where AI will be introduced. And there's also a lot of talk regarding it will take over the programmer job, or it will take over the DevOps job, because it can generate Docker files completely by itself, as an example. I don't think this is the case, because AI is just as useful as the questions you ask. Phrase your question correctly, you will get exactly the information you need. But the skill of phrasing the questions correctly is, I think, in my opinion, something that programmers know really well, because we have been developing the skill with intensively Googling over the last decade. And I think this skill will surely apply there. So you can't just take someone that's completely non-native to tech and put them in front of ChatGPT and tell ChatGPT to write an application. It simply doesn't work. So you will require the programmer that at least is able to take the requirements and ask ChatGPT the right questions. There are three kinds of people that try to get into tech. The first one are the passionate ones that just want to get into tech because they like tech. The second ones are in it for money, I think, because it's a very profitable business. And I would say if you are not exactly an expert but know how to get a basic app going, you can already earn good money with it. And the third ones are probably those that didn't know what to do otherwise and just took it because it's a cool thing right now. And I personally believe that just one of these three has the potential to bring tech forward, which is the passionate one. They are the ones that need less work, less learning, and just less resources in order to properly do their jobs. They come on really interested. They go into jobs and know programming already. They go into their universities and know programming already, know all the keywords already, know what protocols are and what ports are, what IP addresses are, as an example. If someone wants to go and wants to make a real good living in IT and wants to make this their main profession, they should come with passion.